Hi everyone, I'm AK Lee, romance author and identical triplet. I wanted to talk to you today about 10 ways to find inspiration for your writing. I know there are a lot of authors out there who sometimes struggle with ideas and how to come up with a story idea. So I thought I would share the tips I use and how I find inspiration. So the first thing I would suggest is to try new things. Go out and experience life and all it has to offer and do new things and take risks. As you know, if you've been watching my videos and been following me on social media, I just returned from Tasmania last night, and while I was there, I went to the snow, which was magical. It's the first time I've been to snow, so that was experiencing something new and different. And I also went tobogganing. Yay! It was so much fun. I went tobogganing down the mountain, and that was the first time I've ever done that. So that was experiencing something new. You put those memories and experiences in your memory banks and in your mind, and you can draw on them in your stories. So go out, live life, and try new things is the first thing I would suggest. The second thing, which I probably should have said first, is to read. And read a lot and often, and not just in the genre you write in. A lot of people assume that just because I'm a romance author that all I read is romance, whereas that is not the case. I love Stephen King. I think he's a fantastic writer. So I read lots of different things. I read crime. I read Mary Higgins Clark is another favorite author of mine. So crime, mysteries, horror, read it all. You can draw on all of those experiences from reading. Like the amount of ideas I've gotten just from reading other people's stories, it really does get the imagination flowing. So read. I should have put that first. Now the third thing is travel, which sort of goes into the first thing I said. But traveling to new places, you meet all sorts of different people. And traveling alone too. If you travel alone, I feel like, in my experience anyway, you just get to meet a lot more interesting people. I don't have a problem with traveling alone. I know some people do, but I've been all over the world traveling alone, and as a result, I've got friends in Europe, I've got friends in America, I've got friends in Thailand, all over the place. And it just opens up that experience and being able to build characters and relatable, believable characters by meeting different people from all around the world. It really does open up opportunities for character development. The next thing is eavesdropping. I know that's a controversial one, but it does help you with dialogue and character creation. For instance, last night I was waiting at the airport for my flight back home, and I was sitting having a hot chocolate, and there was a couple of men beside me, not far from me, and they were having this conversation, and it was really interesting. So I was listening, and I'm thinking like a story was developing in my mind from this conversation. So you can do that. Don't be rude about it, and don't purposely go and, sit with people. It just so happened they came and sat next to where I was sitting, so I could overhear their conversation. Don't do it in a creepy way, okay? The next thing that goes into the eavesdropping thing is people watching. This is something I have done from a very, very young age, is people watch, and all it involves is you just, wherever you are, you watch people, again, not in a creepy way, and I used to just make up stories about what I would feel was going on in their lives, and you can sit there and do that, and that helps develop your imagination and your storytelling abilities. So definitely people watch and eavesdrop, but not in a creepy way. So the next tip I have is to watch movies and go to the theatre. Seeing stories of any kind played out, again, comes into reading, where experiencing stories in their different forms can help you with structure, characterization, plot, dialogue, all of those things. So watch movies, go to theatre and plays and that sort of thing. That will definitely help with your writing and your inspiration. The next tip I have for you is to set up a regular writing habit. Your brain will become wired in, I think it's after like 6 weeks or something like that. Something becomes a habit. So your brain will get wired into that habit and that practice. So when you sit down to write, you will feel inspired and you'll be able, the words and the story will come a lot more easily. So set up a regular writing practice. Next tip is to carry a notebook with you. I always have a notebook with me everywhere. Even now while I'm doing this video, if you've watched my other videos, you would know I always have a notebook with me, wherever I am. Notebook and pen. No good having a notebook without a pen. Even when I was up at the mountain yesterday in Tasmania, at Ben Lomond, I had a notebook with me and I took notes while I was up there. Always have a notebook with you. Trust me, you don't know when inspiration's going to strike. You want to be prepared and have a notebook on you. The next tip is, writing prompts. Writing prompts. I have a couple of apps on my tablet and you can put it on your phone or whatever. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a writing prompts app. So if you're not really feeling very into it that day, then go into your writing prompts app and you can set a 5-minute time limit or whatever, and it'll get the imagination flowing. It'll get that story flowing, and it might just be what you need to get into your other story if you're just not in the mood that day or whatever's going on. So yeah, writing prompt apps. The last tip I have, tip number 10, is write. Write is right. Writing often, regularly, setting up a practice like I said, is the best way to get your imagination and inspiration flowing. So those are my top 10 tips. I hope they've helped you out. Remember to like, comment and subscribe below. I am on social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. So if you want to look me up, I'll put the links down below. If you want to find out a little bit more about me and my books, and also to see photos of my sisters and I, you can go to my website, which is www.fallinlovewithlee.com. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope that's made you feel all inspired and you want to go out and write. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.